Caudell, Edgewood High School staff member and Cougar superfan. We are here today at the ballpark to bring you state tournament action between the Edgewood Cougars varsity softball team. They will be taking on Stebbins in an opening round game beginning at 5 o'clock. And we'll be bringing that later today. But with me now is the Edgewood head coach, Wayne Henson. And Wayne, first off, thank you for joining us in the pregame.
Thank you.
Yep. And I just wanted to touch on, obviously, when you get to the postseason, when you have these games, nice to be at home, first off. But second, it's sort of like a new season.
Yep.
You know, you throw all the records out, nothing matters, it's one and done, and you get to, you know, basically, in essence, you know, fight for your survival in the tournament.
Right.
So, what is your thoughts on the Edgewood Cougars today as they come into action? You feel like you're in a good spot, feel good about the lineup as we take on Stebbins later today?
Yeah, I think you touched on it, and I talked to this with the girls Monday at practice. It is the start of a new season. Everything before us is now forgotten. It kind of just led up to this point. I think toward the end of the season, we finally started getting where I felt like we should have been all year. More competitive games. We had a great practice Monday, probably one of the best practices that we had. Felt like we were ready to go for yesterday, which unfortunately got rained out. But after into that practice and the weeks leading up to this, I feel like we're in a good spot going into this game. Couldn't ask for any better situation right now for this first round game as far as where the players are at, where their heads are at. Had to practice inside yesterday. Like I said, we had a good practice Monday. Felt like the girls were pumped up, ready. We worked on some stuff that we had some issues with, got those kinks worked out in practice. And then rain comes in yesterday, had to go inside to practice, which don't like those inside practices. It's hard to get things done. So hopefully they're carrying over from Monday, the mindset that we had, because they were ready to go Monday evening for Tuesday. So hopefully that's carried over and we're ready to go today. We like the matchup.
That's good. Well, no question about that. I'm glad you touched on that because you mentioned, and I've been following this team. Obviously, we've carried a few games, but I've been following the team, and it certainly seems like you are playing your best softball at this portion of the year. As I look at the scores, when you are losing, you're losing to pretty good teams that are close games. So you got to feel good about where the girls are at this point going into this one, and ultimately that's what you're going to want, playing your best ball at the right time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been the champs of one or two run game losses. I feel like we're close. We're right there in it. Hopefully we can be on the other end of that coming into this tournament. I feel like we can work through those. They've had a bunch of opportunities to not let games go again at the end of the games. They've learned some things, going deeper, come down to the bottom of the seventh, and working through. Won some games in the bottom here, not too long ago. So hopefully that mindset and then being in those positions can get us through.
Yeah, and as I look at your roster, and we touched on this in previous interviews, such a young team, and so many players coming back. These kind of experiences will bode well for this roster as you move forward. But at the same time, we would be remiss, and I know this sometimes makes you a little uncomfortable, but we've got a senior, our lone senior, and that's your daughter, Evelyn Henson, who's just put together a phenomenal season. She has hit over 500. I just checked it today, and is heading to play collegiately at Purdue Fort Wayne. And you've had other players step up certainly, but this is a season that Evelyn should really be proud of.
Yeah, I think it's bittersweet being the end of her senior season. She's done a great job. One of our goals, at the beginning of the season was to do well enough to get a home game and in the first round or beyond or whatever. So it's going to be probably not during the game. Whatever, I might think of it here and there. Hopefully she doesn't and she plays the game. But yeah, It's nice to be at home for this one for sure.
Yeah, a lot of time invested. One last thing, Coach. So on the mound today, who do we got going for the Cougars? And I know Brashear pitched. Is that who's on the mound again today?
Yep, she's starting today. Yep.
Okay, so I know that we covered a previous game of yours against Franklin, and she was lights out in that game. She's been throwing well. What do you feel she's going to bring to the table today?
She hits her spots, and if she hits her spots, we're going to do okay. Throughout the course of the season, I hate to bring this up, but she's a hitting her spots type pitcher, and it does kind of depend on who we have behind the plate and what they like. Typically she can adjust, and we can work that out and find the spots. Because hopefully we find them earlier, find his strike done earlier, and she pinpoints it, and we should be fine. She's not, overwhelmingly, MPH, making people whiff and stuff like that, but her movement's really good, and hitting her spots is her strong suit.
That's fantastic. Well, Coach, I can't express to you enough how much we appreciate you coming on. Best of luck today against Stebbins, and as always, go Cougars.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.